What's up, OBB fam? It is Toast, and when it came to their tagline, the Ed Morse Automotive Group could have said anything, but they went with backed by Morse. They want their customers to know that when they buy from Ed Morse, they are backed by Ed Morse. And right now, during the Get Backed event, every vehicle is on sale and backed by Morse. New vehicles are backed by Morse with price protection promises. All used vehicles are on sale and backed by Morse with thorough inspections and warranties. Even your service is backed by Morse with a price match guarantee. Shop hundreds of new, used, and certified pre-owned vehicles, all the best makes and models, all on sale, and all backed by Morse. Ed Morse even has your back with low finance rates on all your favorite vehicles, and you already know their lower finance rates mean lower monthly car payments. So make this the year you get backed by Morse. Shop an amazing selection of vehicles with unbeatable deals, all backed by Morse. Find a location nearest you and go to edmorse.com today. But remember, you're only backed by Morse when you buy from Morse.
The OBBs are very proud to welcome Lifewallet to our family in 2022. This revolutionary technology is changing the game in the medical field. The Lifewallet app locates and structures your medical records in one secure location, so you can access them easily and efficiently. Currently, your medical records are inconveniently stored by healthcare providers across multiple platforms. The hurdle we as consumers face with the current structure is that these systems do not interconnect. The solution? Lifewallet facilitates the interconnectivity of your entire medical history, from birth to present day. Download the app today at either the Apple App Store or the Google Play Store. Lifewallet. The time is now.
One thing the OBB fam adores is a quality beer. No one better to get it from than South Florida's own The Tank Brewing. Located at 5100 Northwest 72nd Avenue in Miami, they've got 25,000 square feet of liquid innovation happening, 16 taps, and a great kitchen. If you can't get down to the brewery for a pint or a tour, you can find their product on the shelves of your local Publix or Total Wine. So go grab a six-pack of Loca or La Playita or Frank the Tank and pop one open as you listen to an episode of the Orange Bowl Boys. The Tank Brewing, the official bar of the OBB.
Coming to you from the middle of Canes country, you're listening to the #1 rated football podcast in the Dominican Republic.
Oh, la.
These are the Orange Bowl Boys.
Brought to you by Ed Morse. Join the 1.75 million people that have been backed by Morse. With the price protection promise, Ed Morse will match any competitor's price or refund you up to $7,500.
Here's Toast, Roman, and Scoop.
Welcome to the Mario era, Chapter 15.
15 de Mario.
That's an easy one.
15. Yeah, because
like
all the
cheap.
girls down in the Miami area get dolled up. Those things are like the cost of weddings. You get like ballet and buffet and boucher and all that.
Quinces.
In the quince.
And quinces?
In the quince, baby.
Yep.
Quince.
We've got a good show today. We're going to be chatting with 2010 Hurricanes captain linebacker Colin McCarthy. He'll be coming up in just a bit. Going to talk about some very nice portal activity, and in 5 questions, we're going to find out who each of us would most like to slap across the face.
Oh, what is this in response to?
I haven't even thought. I haven't even read them.
You haven't.
Hold on. No, I haven't. Slap across the face, huh? Who are we gonna slap across the face?
Yeah. Well, you can just stew on it. We'll come up. You got to ways 4 or 5 questions.
Yeah, I got to think about this. Let me think of the other ones.
So, should we head on down to Green Tree, boys?
Might as well go right on down.
Well, that's not it.
He flushed the toilet. That might be the wrong button.
I just was winging it. I don't have my little
In the Manny era, sure. Not the Mario.
I Bailey. This is my stream of consciousness.
We're on the come up, baby. We can't do the toilet sound for the Mario era.
I think this is the right one. Hang on, let's see. There we go.
Let's go!
Good. You put a little heart into that. I saw someone on Twitter was taking exception. He thought that you'd been kind of, throwing that the let's go in the last few episodes.
Really?
Yeah. You hadn't had that passion.
You come and do this for 3,000 episodes. You tell me how well you're going to do it. Whatever. I take heart to that. You can kiss my ass. I don't know who said it, but suck it.
All right, then. Canes Pro Day today, boys. Went long. It was a long Pro Day, man. I think it was like 4 hours long.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
And congrats to everybody who was at the Pro Day. I hope you did well. I hope that everything was fantastic and you're in your nice new bubble and you don't have to worry about the rain. Thank you, Mark Richt. All that good stuff. What I am the most excited about, and it's not even close, about all of this, the regime change, the hype around the program, Josh Pate saying we're going to have a top 5 class in perpetuity every single year. The thing I am most excited about is seeing all of the old Kane brotherhood show up to everything. Everything. Mario, I bet you, I'm guessing, that Mario has texted or called every one of them personally, because he's that type of guy, and said, hey, we want you there. We need you to be there. For us to be us, we need that presence. And those dudes are flocking down to campus. Dudes that haven't been there. You know who I saw on Twitter? Our boy Gino.
Yes.
He hasn't been there in 15 years. It's amazing. That's what we know. And my God, it's so cool. It really is so cool.
Seems like Rohan might have a place down there. He might have actually
I think he's
in.
living on
He may have
campus.
moved in.
Yeah.
I think he might be like living in like the janitor's closet or something. I don't know. He may have bought out an entire dorm. I'm not sure, but he has been there every single day. And it was so cool, dude. When I saw Melvin Bratton, I was like, dude, like another one of the OGs. Like that was oof.
Mario Cristobal, he drips swagger. He's confident guy. Like, you don't have that inclination that he's gonna shake your hand very passive and soft. Like, he's gonna squeeze it hard. He's that kind of man, right? And it's like, when you're secure about that, you're secure in the job, what you're going to do.
That's right.
You're going to open it up to the other NFL players because, hey, man, I got a job to do. I'm confident what I got to do. And I think that's why Manny kind of closed it off, because maybe some insecurity issues. Maybe he was like, coach a certain way, because I'm pretty sure after they saw him like tackling little foam things and rolling around like crocodiles in the crocodile hunter. Look, matey, it's a beauty, right? You're not really I'm sure some of the NFL guys would have laughed you off the stage. But you mentioned Pro Day. Mike Harley, I want you... True or false? Mike Harley did more on the bench press than 2 of our offensive linemen.
Caveat to that. First of all, I'm going to take a step back before I answer that. My whole point to my little diatribe in the beginning was Mario's security. And I totally didn't say anything, so I appreciate you bringing that up. Very good. That's a nice. I appreciate the backup there. Secondly, my understanding is both those offensive linemen hurt their shoulders during the bench. So there's the reason, hence that Harley did more reps on the bench than 2 of the offensive linemen.
Well, all I'm going to say is that when I saw those numbers, like,
does look
well,
funny.
that's why we never got by on a 3rd and 1 and a 4th and 1. There was the push for you. That's where the lack of push came from.
Should have brought Mike inside.
Mike Harley in the fullback. That would have solved all your problems. He's apparently stronger than you guys. Heal up if it was indeed an injury. I'm sure those guys can pitch a lot more than that. But when I looked at those numbers, I was like, what? Mm-hmm. What? Mm-hmm. Come on now.
Yeah.
Charleston was unable to really improve on that 40 time. He still put up a 4.5, so we'll see what that. I'm guessing that means like 5th or 6th or 7th round.
and then cue all the Jerry Rice ran a 4.6, kind of lines that you've heard of it. It's about being fast, but some guys, and we've said this for years and years, some guys, Devin Hester's 40 time wasn't like what you thought it was. What he ran in real life, what you saw with your eyes was not what he ran on like laser times. I'm telling you this right now. And Dion said it best with Devin. He's like, he has 4 next to you speed. Doesn't matter what you're running, he's going to run just as fast. So when it comes to, Charleston and how he ran his routes, you could be a super, super effective guy in the NFL, and I think he will. So, it would have been nice to get into that 4.4 range for him, but I still think he could be an effective wide receiver.
Yeah, I mean,
broke the record. That's not easy.
No, it's not an easy feat. There's no question, and he did. And there is, just like you mentioned, when you got guys chasing you, it's different. Some people, I got to tell you, some people are slower, I think. Some people are faster. I'll tell you one guy who I always thought was a step slow, and I could never understand it. He's still playing in the league. Was Benjamin. Dude got tripped up more than I've ever seen anybody get tripped up for somebody who runs a 4.3. So, whatever. He'll do fine. I think Rambo's going to be very good. I hope Harley to you improved his stock a little bit today, and I hope he gets a chance. We want everybody to have a chance. We want everybody to do well from here. McLeod, from what I heard, did well today.
He's fast, too.
Yeah, I mean, look. Kind of a Trent Harris mold. Let's go.
Jesus Christ.
Chickens? Roosters?
That was a rooster. That was a rooster. Yeah, no, I was looking
to
at
a rooster.
Because we had a portal action, man. We got some portal people. Mitchell Agude.
Okay.
UCLA defensive end, edge rusher. PFF had him as the 5th best edge rusher in the Pac-12 last year. Was a 3-star in the 2020 class, so that was nice. And also, we offered a linebacker, Josh White out of LSU, 4-star in 2020 out of Houston, 4 years of eligibility left, which is nice.
Man,
so
that's a Scott Patchen plan.
Well, listen,
by the way,
we're talking about getting some portal linebackers. It looks like Josh White could be the first one on the wish list.
Hey, can we toot our own horn real quick? Because if you go back and listen to the last episode, we talked about wishes, right?
Yeah,
and that was before this news dropped. That was before, and I said, what was the top 2? I'd like to get a defensive end. You could change the projection of the program if you do that. Definitely need linebacker help. Listen to your boys. Listen to your boys. We watch the games too.
Have you seen that? Have you seen that Agude story? You see that story?
Not.
The one with what's his name? The one that was the with the guy from Fox.
Yes, the guy who always does the very passionate stories.
Right. He used to be with ESPN. Rinaldi.
Who's that guy? Rinaldi.
Yeah.
Yes. So he, speaking of talk to me, Goose. Woo! Whoa, man! You see that too? Oh my goodness!
Hold on. Let's go on this tangent.
Stop.
So, do you see who he's like getting in confrontations
Yes.
with? Goose's
son.
Nice.
Yeah. And he looks just like him. I was like, what?
Yeah.
And he's like, my dad trusted you. I won't make the same mistake. Oh, come on. Anyway, we'll talk about that later.
Did you see who the Admiral is? Iceman.
Yeah, who is
It's
that?
not the.
Huh?
Iceman's the Admiral.
He's a picture, but he's in a picture. But
but that's Iceman. He became an Admiral.
He turned into an Admiral.
I didn't know that was his.
Yeah.
That was his thing. I don't know. We'll talk about more about this later. My
Not
God,
if we're lucky.
It's not Principal Skinner from Back to the Future. He's not the Admiral anymore.
No, unfortunately.
Oh, come on!
I'll be at the theater May 27th.
Okay.
But what are we talking about? Talk about anything? What were we talking about before?
We're talking about the portal and
the story.
Rinaldi.
So he was 9, and he went to a skate park. And what I read was his buddies were there and they weren't wearing helmets, so he's like, I didn't think I had to wear a helmet. And he wrecked and he knocked himself out. And he was in a coma.
Oh shit!
And they didn't think he was going to make it.
All right, so before we get into Colin, there's non-football stuff we got to hit, boys, here in Green Tree. Canes baseball swept North Carolina over the weekend, and as we are recording right now, I have the scoreboard up here. they're beating Florida Gulf Coast 11-5.
Dunk City.
So most wins against top 25 teams in the country.
Wow.
Everybody still want Love Lady, or
It's amazing how things can change, and we kind of talked about just a parody in baseball. Just parody in baseball. But you go up and you go up and you take 5 out of 6 out of some of those stud Carolina teams. I don't know. Palmquist is the Friday night starter. That was and I talked to, he's a buddy of mine. He's a former Kane baseball alumni. And I said, hey, yeah, your boy Carson, he's going to be a starting. No way. He's not going to be in the starting rotation. And it sounded weird because, that was your closer last year. But, man, he has been a bright spot. Kane's going up confident every Friday night against their, ace guy. And playing good ball.
Absolutely. So they will be at Duke this weekend, and then they're home to Florida Gulf Coast on Tuesday of next week. So things are going well with Gino and everything. Unfortunately, as well as they're playing right now, is the opposite is how bad the Canes hoops team played in the second half against Kansas. Dude, we were up by what? I think 3
6.
or 2 at the half?
6.
6? Fuck. Well, we had been like close to 10, and they whittled it down a little bit. And then, Jesus, dude, what was it, like 40-something to 14?
45-17. Hey!
Jesus Christ.
Well, that's close, right? What did I say? 42-17 we were going to beat Florida 3 years ago. 45-17.
Okay.
Woof. I mean,
So what are our thoughts, man?
gross.
Like, what are...
Great season. Congratulations.
Yes.
Thanks for the ride. That was a lot of fun. You made history. No other Canes men's basketball team has ever made an Elite Eight. Certainly didn't. You proved all of the doubters wrong who wouldn't rank you in the top 25 for the entire season. That was cool. That was a lot of fun. And you had it for a half, man. It's, it happens.
Let me ask you what will be a very unpopular question. Was this season, a fluke? When you look at the last 3 years before this year of how awful they were, was this a fluke? Is like, with all due respect, any basketball program in the ACC most likely fires their head coach after the last 3 seasons that Jim put up. It was atrocious in the ACC.
Because prior to those 3 years, there was a big catalyst for what happened, and that was that FBI investigation. Right? You take those 3 years out, you add this year with those, great runs, ACC tourney, championship, what have you. You're in a much brighter spot.
Yeah, they were. He was handcuffed tremendously.
I don't see it that way. I don't think the Adidas thing was as big of a deal as folks are making.
Oh,
it
you're
out to be
incorrect.
in terms of recruiting. But
it's fine.
Okay. Well, we'll see. Well, he's going to get the extension. He's 72. Hope that he's got a second wind.
I tell you what, man, he moves around like there's nothing wrong.
He does.
Right?
He's got agility. Yeah. So, well, listen.
Yeah, the very
the
next
Cuban
day
coffee.
he came.
I know it was.
Yeah.
Spolster loves him, dude. Kindred spirits there.
Maybe he
Good
gets
stuff.
a job on that staff.
A little consultancy or
Retire,
something.
and he just kind of
Absolutely.
hangs
I
out
could see
behind the
that.
bench
Sure,
for the Heat for a few years.
Well, he ain't leaving South Florida once he retires.
Stop.
Like this, he took this as the retirement gig.
That's right. I was like, that's where I'm
Let's
going
be
to end it
honest
right
about
there.
Dude, spent so much time at George Mason, South Florida. Fuck yeah, let's go.
I don't even know where George
I'm
Mason
sure his wife
is.
is loving
Where's
it.
George Mason?
I think it's like, isn't it like the? Shoot, no, I should probably see.
I have no clue.
The Northeast,
No idea.
the Colonial Athletic Conference. So it's got to be somewhere in the Northeast.
Like
I
Philly?
thought it was like Philly
Fairfax,
area.
Virginia.
Oh, Virginia.
It's not that
Okay.
bad. That's a nice
Fairfax.
place. Nice place.
Yeah,
Fairfax
not South
County,
Florida.
Virginia.
No,
It's not paradise.
but it's nice.
All right. So I saw something before we got Colin in the waiting room here. Before we get into that, I saw something. This is 2 funny photos that I thought were great because it was beating the bookie. He posted a photo returning from Vegas, and in one of his photos there was a sack of cash, and you could see what looked to be possibly like at least $50,000 in cash, just wrapped up in $10,000 wads. Then a couple days later, there's the photo of the steering wheel of the Porsche he just bought. Like, yeah,
In cash.
Listen, man, he's good at his job and he's reaping the rewards, and you can too if you sign up with him. The dude just wins for a year. Scoop, he's been winning.
Years. And he's been a proud sponsor of the OBB since last September. We thankfully we realized I don't know what happened, that he was a huge Canes fan, born and raised, not born there, but raised down here, grew up down in the area. Maybe he was born here, I don't know, but it's been a great relationship. He's been awesome, and he's making everybody a bunch of money. Beatingthebookie.com is where you get your packages. The Valero Texas Open is this week, and there are a ton of plays. Now, if you are, let's see, that is a couple hours behind us. So if you listen to this first thing in the morning and you want to get into the package, you can. But once the tournament starts on Thursday, the golf packages are closed for the week. So just you're aware of that. But
there's some Final Four action this weekend.
Final Four action this weekend. Pay attention. Hockey, he's been absolutely crushing hockey. He gives a ton of free plays out. So pay attention to his Twitter, his Instagram, his TikTok. It's all Beating the Bookie, at Beating the Bookie. It's been fun. And little tidbit, little insight, we have a guest coming up, Mr. Colin McCarthy, which you had mentioned earlier. And you know who got us that guest?
BTB.
BTB got us that guest. He sure as shit did. Our boy hooking it up. Yep. He was out in Vegas.
So once you,
they were hanging in Vegas.
Oh, nice.
And we got a little hookup.
So once you get that BTB package, you can go to DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. You can use promo code TPPN. Bet $5 on any college hoops team to win and get $200 in free bets if they do. If they win, you win with promo code TPPN this week at DraftKings Sportsbook. 21 and over. Restrictions apply. See show notes for details. And listen, if they don't have Sportsbook in your state like in Florida, you can still use that TPPN promo code to sign up for the daily fantasy stuff that they have that everyone in the country can do. So check it out, DraftKings Sportsbook, promo code TPPN. And then, as always, you take those winnings and you buy new merch at Caneswear.
You can't see it because this is a podcast. You can only hear it. But if you could see it, you'd see on my head right now, I have that gorgeous Miami old logo, old English M on the white. I saw this thing and I'm like, immediately, I have to buy it.
Who can see
so
it?
I went
though?
to the
Who
Mecca.
can see it? The people who watch our show on YouTube.
Yes,
They can see
they
it.
can see it. But the people listening right now can't hear this. Anyway, so I want you to know, 2511 South University Drive in Davie, Florida. Phone number 954-835-5597. Free shipping on orders over $99. The fastest shipping in the West. Caneswear by Miami Fanwear. That's where all the Canes fans shop. It's that simple.
All right, boys, get on your best behavior. And we're going to go ahead.
Before we bring Colin in.
Oh, boy. Yeah.
There's another story taking place, and we don't talk about this much. But there is a very good possibility the Tiger tees it up next week.
You think so? No, he played.
He flew up and he played yesterday.
Yeah.
Very good possibility he tees it up at the Masters. And a brilliant quote that I just saw from Scott Van Pelt, which is absolutely 100% correct. If Tiger plays, you could play nude and nobody would know you were there. If he plays next week, after what he went through in that act, man, I'm telling you.
I know he went out there and played the round with his son and with Justin Thomas, right?
Yes.
And he walked it, but it was just one round. And I'm just going by what he said last month at that press conference where he said, listen, man, we all know that I want to play the Masters, but the body is not agreeing with the same timetable. I'm just not sure that he can do 4 rounds walking, and I just –
Well, it's not the
I know
Honda
he wants
Classic.
to try. No, well, I know.
No,
that.
what I'm saying
well,
is
they say it's the hardest walk in golf.
correct. You can't necessarily see that on TV. Augusta is undulous beyond get out. Like those hills are steep and many. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'd love to see it though, right?
I'd love to see it too. I'd love to see it, but I just I want to see him play somewhat, the big tournaments consistently, and so I just want to make sure he's truly 100% before he. I'm afraid if he goes out there and he starts the adrenaline starts flowing, he starts swinging a little harder, and his leg can't take. I just don't want anything awful. That would be horrible if something bad happened at the Masters like that. But
you know what other news I just saw?
Justin Thomas, that's the golfer. He lives in Jupiter, right?
They all live in Jupiter.
A lot of them do. Yes, most of them.
Yeah, just random fact, random row. I actually know his Manny. He doesn't have a nanny.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he's got a Manny. Okay,
really?
Nice.
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah. True
Nice.
story.
That's awesome.
He's got little boys, and they have a Manny.
The rule is if you go to Jupiter and just throw a golf ball up in the air, it'll hit a PGA Pro.
Correct.
They're everywhere.
Interesting. I don't think Justin Thomas has kids, so not sure we're talking about the same person, but maybe. Bruce Arians just retired, though.
Bruce Arians did. Oh, Tom Brady won the battle. Tom Brady won the battle.
It's interesting, right?
It is. Listen, so that means Leftwich is the head coach, right?
Todd Bowles.
What? What?
Oh, my goodness. It's just recycled.
It's all recycled.
What are they doing?
Really?
What are they
Why wouldn't you give it to Byron?
Like, if Byron turned down the Jags to stay there,
Right.
and then you don't give him the gig?
And him and Tom are tight. They love each other.
Right.
That's bizarre. Wow.
Todd Bowles.
And listen, I like Todd Bowles. He's a fine defensive coordinator. But he's had his run
He's
as
a
a head
defensive
coach.
coordinator.
Yeah, he's a great
Just like
defensive
Manny
coordinator.
Diaz.
Right. Right. Wow. Interesting stuff. Okay. Let's go. Let's let him in. Well, our special guest here for Chapter 15 is a former captain of your Miami Hurricanes football program. 2010. Also in 2010, won the Hard Hitter Award. Ladies and gentlemen, OBB fam is proud to welcome Colin McCarthy, number 44, to the program. What's up? Yo! Woo!
Let's go.
Let's
go.
It was funny.
go.
I'll tell you
Hey,
what.
you see-
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Steve.
What?
Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
you see, speaking of the Hard Hitter Award, you saw the first photo that we posted 2 days ago of him decleating a dude from UNC.
Oh, man. That was
UNC.
Nice
vicious.
night, homie.
That was vicious. That was
Yeah.
vicious.
Speaking of Benjamin, that was Benjamin getting around the corner.
Travis.
That's
yeah.
right. Somebody just brought him up.
Those were the good old days.
Listen, man, I was looking.
You gotta bring those back.
I was looking in what your career high for tackles. It jumped out at me because it was against Virginia in 2010. You had 18 tackles, and I was thinking, when's the last time we had a defensive player that had 18 tackles in the game? And then on the other side, my brain said, in the last couple of years, we've missed 18 tackles in the game before.
I was gonna say that just means we spent a lot of time on the field. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. So,
Coaches were just putting you in the right position. That's all it was.
Yeah.
that's what it was.
So
I'm
who
trying to
had
remember
so
when
so the
that game.
the other
Was
question
it
is
away?
who had
Was
18
it,
prior
Was
to
it at
that?
Virginia?
I don't know.
I
Was
think
it at
may have been
Virginia?
at Virginia.
Toast?
Yeah, Virginia.
I think
At
it was
Virginia, 2010.
I think we
Virginia.
got beat. I think we got beat too, which was even worse.
Don't bring that up.
Well, actually, that game had 18 tackles and 13 assists, both career highs for you. You were all over the place.
In
A lot
one
of
game?
a lot of pile jumping on it sounds like.
What a vulture.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
The 13
Hey, a tackle's
assists.
a tackle.
13 assists is more impressive than the 18 tackles,
Right?
I think.
I was just find the ball. That's what my motto was. Find the ball and you'll be in a good situation. That's all.
So I kind of want to lead with the number 44, right? It's kind of significant at Miami, at the linebacker position.
Yes,
I know the
when I was when I came out of high school, because I wore 12 in high school, and obviously I'm wearing 12 in college, and then the whole Dan Morgan comparison. I mean, we were both white. I guess that's what the
stealing my
kind of
thunder.
a dead
kind of
giveaway,
the
yeah.
obvious. Yeah, I was gonna say the giveaway was give the white guy 44, but obviously he had a great career. Obviously, I watched some of his highlights and stuff like that, YouTube and whatnot. So, when I was out there wearing it, I was just trying to make, obviously, not just him, but all the former Canes proud, with the performance out there on the field.
Yeah, so it is. It's a legacy number, and it's just like so funny because now you get like another little white guy. Oh, it's the next Braxton Berrios. Oh, it's the next Dan Morgan. And now it's like, yeah, as a Canes fan, longtime Canes fan, if I see like a white dude just bringing it and thumping it at the linebacker position, I'm like, give him 44. Colin Ward and Dan Ward.
Yeah, we haven't had one recently.
We had one.
They've been swapping in and out with 44s.
Yeah.
But a lot of time when I see them, they're not making any plays.
No. So I want to jump into a little bit. I can probably say that aside from us, there may not have been anyone harder on the prior staff than you. So this is a great little foursome we got going on here. Tell us your thoughts on. I don't really want to talk about the old regime, but tell us your thoughts on really kind of how it made you feel as a former captain, and then how it's changed as we've transitioned into the new one.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing from a former player standpoint is you want to see guys compete. You want to see guys give maximum effort, and you don't want undisciplined players out there. I mean, 9 times out of 10, you could look at things and be like, look, there's no one out there covering them. So it's like a coaching thing more so than a player's thing. I mean, obviously there's a lot of missed tackles, but that goes to coaching as well. I mean, everything goes back to coaching. I mean, you don't see Alabama, you don't see these powerhouse programs doing these things. You know what I mean? And week in and week out, I would see it. And obviously Manny Diaz with his interviews. After a while, I just felt like Al Golden. And obviously that was a lot more recent from when I left. So it was sickening. But then just seeing Diaz there, God, I was trying to get him booted as soon as possible, and he lasted longer than I expected, but we got the home run higher. I mean, I said I wanted Mario Cristobal. That was my number one, and they made it work. I mean, I didn't do too much on that end, but obviously the coaching staff they brought in there, I mean, it's a home run. I mean, obviously the players got to compete. The players got to, get out there on the field and make plays, but you couldn't from a former player standpoint, feel better than what Coach Cristobal is doing down there.
Colin, I recalled like when we had Joaquin Gonzalez on, and I just had him just like, hey, what are your thoughts on the offensive line? Because I felt like they were like a hot topic, right? They had the microscope on them. Linebacker, too, for me, probably was on that microscope level last year, too. But coming from a former player who played that position, can you give some, like, intrinsic thoughts and just what you felt about that group and how they played and performed last year?
Yeah, I think not just last year, but just in general for the last 5, 6, 7 years. I mean, as a linebacker, you got to make splash plays, whether it's tackle for loss, whether it's a forced fumble, whether it's an interception, making like game-changing plays. And you see that from before I got there, even when I was there, that was my biggest thing, was making splash plays, trying to, make an impact on the game. And you'd see the linebackers game in and game out, and there'd be no splash plays. I mean, they wouldn't play with any type of, enthusiasm or just, getting each other riled up. I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's just not how I ever played ball. Obviously, I didn't care if we were getting our asses blown out. I was going to play hard, and I was going to punch a guy in his mouth, and you just didn't see that. And I think that directly translates to the head coach. And I think from Mario Cristobal being down there, he'll punch someone in the mouth. So I know he's going to have his players doing it. You know what I mean? And that's what you need. You got to almost, establish it early and often, because, in the third, fourth quarter, that's when you get teams to quit, or you get, the guy you're going against to quit. And they never did that, and that's why a lot of time we would lose late, or we wouldn't find ways. We'd find ways to lose games rather than finding ways to win games, and that's the difference between a good team and 500 team.
So I got a question, because the games is evolved. Even since you've played, right? You had a couple spread teams you'd face
Yes.
off against. You still had some pro-style teams. Still might have played an option team here and there. But now everybody has adapted the space race. Everybody's putting on their 11-set personnel. Everybody's going ahead and trying to get the speed on you guys as linebackers. So I have a question for you. Knowing how today's game is now, I want you to give me your prototypical body if you played today. Your 40 time, your weight, and your speed, and I want to see if it would have been different. Go ahead. Like,
What do you
if
mean?
you were playing
What do you
today,
mean by
what
that?
would be like? Playing against these defenses,
I'd be my same size. I'd be my same size. It wouldn't change me. I mean, they'd have to adjust to me. I mean, I could go sideline to sideline. I'd hit a guy in the mouth. To me, it didn't matter. I mean, obviously from the spread point, I mean, it's game planning for each team. And I think that's the biggest thing is week in and week out, you need to game plan. You need to make sure that, you're attacking them defensively rather than trying to match up with them. And I think that's the biggest thing. We could go 4-3 against 11 personnel. We could go 4-3 against 21 personnel. We'd have the linebackers who could cover out in space. We'd have the linebackers who could punch an offensive lineman in the mouth or take on a fullback. And it didn't matter. It didn't matter. Where now you have guys running in and off the field. You have, third safety or possibly a nickel corner coming in and they're running the ball at him. And he doesn't want any of that. I mean, just they're there to cover. They're not taking on offensive linemen. They're not trying to get their nose dirty. And from a linebacker standpoint, you don't want to come off the field. I remember my time in the NFL, obviously it wasn't that long-lived, but I took pride in being a three-down linebacker. And I mean, even in passing situations where for the normal part they'd bring in nickel or they bring in some kind of slot corner, I'd stay out there. And I think that was the biggest thing from a linebacker standpoint is being able to cover, whether it's running backs, tight ends, the slot, and obviously from a matchup standpoint, you can check or you can do this or you can communicate with the safeties and coming down. But all that stuff needs to be figured out game plan wise. So when you're out there playing, you're communicating, you're getting your checks, and then you're running around making plays.
So I took from that, and what you're saying is this generation is soft.
Yeah. I mean, listen.
making sure.
If I
I mean,
was
that's what I
if I
heard.
was getting paid the way they are now, I would have stayed in college for a sixth and seventh year.
Dr. Patchen plan.
Right. I was gonna say it's I mean, it's just old school. I mean, it's the I mean, I guess my mindset, or even, you get those certain football players that play old school football and they stand out to you because they have a passion for the game, they love the game, and they play it hard nosed, and they'll stick their head in there. I mean, and some guys they won't. I mean, that's just the way it is. And 9 times out of 10, with the way the players are now, they don't want that smoke. They don't want to be in there in friendly fire.
And I think the difference is, from what we can tell, and this is what we're hoping anyway.
We just lost him.
Where'd he go?
He just dropped out.
He pops in, and he pops right out.
We'll have to go ahead, text him, have him hit that lick again.
I'm sure he'll realize.
I don't know how he just popped in. He literally, normally it says there's a waiting room, and he just busted through the fucking door.
There he came.
Just busted through the door.
He just told you. He just explained this to you. He's like, listen,
care.
man. He said he's old school generation. He doesn't need your stinking waiting room. He's just gonna go make a play.
He literally just came right.
right in. Just boom. I don't care whether you're ready or not. Let's go, motherfuckers.
Oh my God.
It is go time.
That was funny, man.
That was great.
I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, and we brought up Scott Patchen, which, by the way, he led all defensive ends. He led all defensive ends.
There we go.
Hey, we're back. We're back. So what I was getting at was, I think Mario's idealistic recruit is of that cloth.
Yeah.
Right? So I think you're going to see a lot more of the tenaciousness, the dudes not wanting to come off the field. We had Zoe on here, and he's like, No, you came off the field. You risked losing your job.
100%.
We didn't come off the field. We never wanted to come off the field. And when we came off the field, you told the coach, one play.
Yeah. No, I mean that's
And then you went back out. The other guy didn't want to come off. You pushed him off the field.
well. That's the thing that I think they're trying to establish down there is the competition amongst each other. I remember when I first got down there, it was John Beeson, Tavares Gooden, Glenn Cook, and then you had Spencer Atkins and Daryl Sharpton. I mean, you had legit guys who you had to compete against, and you knew. And then right after me was Sean Spence, and I'm trying to think of some of the other guys we had there at the linebacker position, but it was stacked. And, you felt that day in and day out, not just in the weight room or on the field, but obviously in the game. You were competing, you were playing for your job. And I feel like guys now, they get so, I wouldn't even say comfortable because they're not winning games, but they don't care enough to, whether they win or lose or they come off the field or they're not playing, they don't care. And I think that's the biggest thing. And obviously Mario, with his mentality, the way he is, the culture that he had when he was in Oregon for this short period of time. I mean, they had stud athletes. They had guys making plays. They were winning Pac-12 championships or playing in them. So that's what we need. I mean, I love Coach Cristobal. He was an offensive line coach when I was down there with Coker and Shannon. So I love the guy. I'm glad he got hired, and obviously hopefully I'll get down there and see him practice. That's the plan here in the next week or two. But I'm all on board. I've been off the wagon for sure. Still rep the U, still wear my U stuff. But
just show up.
What's that?
What are you waiting for? Just show up.
Oh, I know. I got a 4.5 hour drive from up here on the West Coast from Tampa area. So
nice. You up in Tampa now?
Yeah. I'm on the other coast. So,
Colin, let me ask you this: is there a former UM linebacker group chat like you, Beeson, Vilma, Ray, Armstead, and you guys are, there isn't? Damn, because I'd love to know the language that would be coming through on Saturdays watching the linebacker play.
God, no.
It's such a proud tradition. It's such a proud tradition. Yeah. It's insane that we haven't had linebackers the last basically since you left.
There's a commonality there, though. There's a commonality there, and obviously Colin shared his opinion with the previous head coach, but that was the guy recruiting that position too. And no offense to the current guys over there, but Mario's going to get the recruiting side right because listen to the names. Colin went and then just stopped, right? He's like, we had this, and it stopped, and that happened. That happened to linebacker U. It just stopped. There was this.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. Gap. You had Shaq and you had Pinckney,
and they were.
There was Denzel Perryman. Perryman was
the president was there. So we've had him sprinkled in, but think about it though. With Golden, you had Shaq, Pinckney, and McLeod for man didn't recruit him. No,
exactly. That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
But that's my thing. I mean, you look at, like you said, before I got there, it was Vilma, DJ, Beeson. I mean, I can't put myself in the category with those guys, but I mean, I'm at least, sitting at the table. You know what I mean? I'm not at the head of the table, but I'm at least
you're eating.
Yeah,
no, yeah.
I'm in the party.
You're not at the kiddies' table.
If there's a guest
table,
20, I'm making it into the carpet. But
I'll speak freely. Colin's back in college and we go through some Freaky Friday and he time warps back then. I'm not even worried about the linebacker position at this point. I'm like, I know who's starting in the middle.
Yeah, I mean, that's,
we can flex him outside it too to go Will too if we need to. He's fast. He's not, at least we got our one linebacker. Can we portal the next one?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. When I left, it was Sean and then obviously Daryl Sharpton. And I mean for speaking for the three of us, we all got to the league and we all played, and that's an accomplishment in itself. I mean, you get schools all over where the three linebackers, there's very rare that they're all going to get to the league or at least have a decent career. So we did that, And then now, like I said, you look up and you look at the linebackers and just the draft, and it's like back when we played, even if we didn't win games, we still had guys going first round. We still had 8, 9, 10 guys getting drafted. Now we don't even have guys getting drafted because there's no talent. The NFL is drafting on talent. You know what I mean? They're big on – I mean, Sam Shields, when he was there at Miami with me, I love Sam. I mean, you know, and we came in together, but he had a tough time seeing the field just because of his off-the-field stuff and antics that he got into. But when he got to that league, the kid can play ball. And he got
positions.
paid 100%. Yes, but he was an athlete.
So why was
Sam,
he
hold
not
on.
in that position?
Hold on. Let's talk about Sam. This is fascinating. So Sam, in his first rookie year, right? He wins the Super Bowl ring with Green Bay. That's the year Green Bay won. And he's a corner.
He did.
And he got a Green Bay tattoo right here. And immediately my mind was like, you know, you could get traded, right? Like the U tattoo makes sense, right?
I'll tell you what.
Did you talk to Sam about this?
Hey man, I'll tell you what. You win a Super Bowl and make him do some crazy things.
Okay, you
I mean,
pass.
I can't relate.
touche.
I can't relate, but I'll tell you what. I mean, he had a hell of a career. I mean, he got paid.
Oh, he did.
I think he was
And you got to take credit for that because you know who drafted him to Green Bay?
Was it Alonzo?
Zoe.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knew.
Oh, he knows. He knows.
100%.
100%. And that's why I hope that he's going to be involved and around there a lot more because even his son, AJ, I know he's in the NFL.
He's in the league.
Yeah, he's doing some recruiting and stuff like that. But, I mean, even Glenn Cook, I think Glenn Cook's up there in the front office, maybe in Cleveland or something. I'm not sure where he is now, but, I mean,
wasn't he up for a couple GM options? I think.
Listen, he was the one of the smartest and hardworking as far as mentally knowing the game that I've been around. Obviously, from my 5 years down there at Miami, by far the smartest football player. So seeing him having the success he is, seeing him being in that higher level, I guess more than just position coaching, doesn't surprise me at all.
See, you were on the patch and plan trajectory there 5 years.
Oh, I played.
Right? It's longer than normal these days.
No, I played I had what did I do? I had a medical my third year. Right? Yeah. My third year it was dumb. It was on Green Tree, pouring rain. We're doing like sideline tackling drills and I slip and I just tear my shoulder, and it was right before the Florida State game, which was week 4, I guess, of that year. So I had to decide if I played in it, I couldn't redshirt. So I said, you know what, I'm a redshirt, call it a day, and then I got 2 more years. So it worked out.
Did we win that game or lose that game?
Oh, we lost. I was in the Grove, though. Hold
on a second. Let me rephrase this. Did Colin win that game or did Colin lose that game?
Listen, Colin was in full spirits. Back
Colin won. Colin won just fine.
It was an away game.
Just leave it there.
Yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Currently, Glenn Cook is the vice president of player personnel for the Cleveland Browns.
See? Yeah. Man. Yeah, I talk to Cook every now and then. I follow him on like social media, so I keep tabs on him, make sure he's doing good. Same thing with like DVD. I'm glad seeing DVD down there because he got upset with me because I was so hard on the coaches. You know, he kind of, and I said, DVD, listen, man. I said it's not personal. I said, to be honest with you, with Mario coming down there with all the talent coaching wise that he's bringing, I go, dude, you get on that staff and, you know, learn from them. I said, that's a huge opportunity. And he's down there. And I mean, DVD, we came in together. We played the Senior Bowl together. I mean, he was at my house for Christmas, our senior year, when we played down at the Champ Sports. So I love the guy. And I was just like, dude, like, it hurts me more seeing Diaz there and trying to like make reasons for how bad he is as a coach, I said, the man got to go. I said, if you're pulling your weight and, because he can recruit, he can relate to the players, on any level. And from that standpoint alone, and he knows the game. He's a great player. He, obviously his biggest thing was speed, and you can't teach speed, but, him being down there and him being still involved, I love it. I love it.
Colin, it wasn't, it's nobody's fault because the universe just made it very clear last year that it just wasn't going to let an FSU alum lead the Miami Hurricanes to glory. The universe wasn't going to let that happen. So it's like trying to get opposites to attract. Like it's like two magnets turning inside out. The universe doesn't let that happen. So let's bring a Kane back home and let's get this thing done.
Amen.
And speaking of that, and some of us really preached for specifically Mario, but more so a Kane, right? Someone who understands the tradition, the brotherhood, what it takes, and knows what it takes intuitively and certainly intrinsically to have this program be successful. And other people are screaming, you don't need a Kane. You just get somebody who's a good coach. But I don't think people really understand that it truly, in my opinion, was that you had to have a guy who understood the culture because, as Zoe said, they knew if they didn't win, nobody would show up. Yeah. So it was a competition for them that, okay, we want people to be at these games. We need to win.
100%. Yeah.
And unless you understand that nuance and the nuance of the inner workings of Miami in general, it's the perfect fit. And then now he's still hiring. See, he hires people like every other day, Mario.
I know.
You heard somebody
you know what? Jason Taylor.
Aldrin's kid's there now.
He's an intern now. Yeah, Eddie-O's kid. Yeah. Well, you know what it is. I mean, in Colin, we actually had Josh Pate on a few weeks ago, and he made the point of not only did you need to have a Miami guy to understand the tradition and the culture, but I think he's right. We needed a Miami guy to get those boosters to open up their wallets the way that they have. Like, I don't think they were going to do that for just any coach. They needed one of their own coming home to say, okay, you know what? Here's the billions. Let's go.
Well, especially from a standpoint of he had success right away when he became a head coach. I mean, when he went to Oregon, he produced. I mean, he turned things around there. And for him to come back here, like you said, his mentality as a player, he's won championships. He knows what it takes. He knows what Miami's all about, and he's like you're saying, it's easy to say you need to bring in a former Kane, but you also need to bring in somebody who has a pedigree or, from a coaching standpoint, has proven himself. And I think when Mario left and he did what he did, at Oregon and at when he was, even when he was a position coach, he was at under Saban, right, over there at Alabama. So
won a championship there.
Had A on his chest.
He knows what it takes. Right. He knows what it takes. The guy's no bullshit guy. He wants punch you in the mouth. He brings that back, and God, it like, I'm excited to go down there just to see him practice, see that level. I think I read something where one of the recruits, I don't know, I look at little snippets every now and then, but one of the recruits was like, this is the best college practice I've seen.
Innis.
Yeah, Brandon Innis from American Heritage.
Yeah. I mean, that's. I remember when we were back then there competing, and we'd fight and all that kind of stuff. We were competing, and I never saw that. I see guys just kind of like going through the motions, and it was sick. It was sick to see, and now seeing Mario there, I'm fired up.
Well, Colin, and that's funny that you mentioned that because, and I understand that kids are going to say what they say, but anytime there's a coaching change, the first thing we hear during spring brawl, oh, dude, it's a whole new energy down there. It's a whole new energy from the last guy, whole new energy. So I hope it actually translates this time. I hope it means something, but it's funny how that's always, oh no, when Manny, oh no, so much just so much more energy than under Rick. Like, okay,
well, that's the thing. Manny was already down there, so like, And then for where was he? He got a job at
Penn State.
Temple for
Penn State.
no,
yeah.
but he was
Temple
at,
for
he got Temple,
Temple for like
right?
15 days. Yeah.
Yeah,
stayed
so
there.
it's like,
We can.
yeah, I mean, like, listen, we're stealing a guy who just got a head coaching job at Temple. I mean, didn't we learn our lesson when we got Al Golden? Yeah.
Right, exactly.
I was like, you would think you learn from the mistake, you know what I mean? But
Well, look, and then that goes back to they hired Manny in like 4 hours, right after Rick retired, and we said it back then. We said it was lazy, and then Blake was lazy. Blake was lazy on a number of things, and it was our duty, and we were on a mission, and so we had to get him fired, and that's just the way it goes.
Yeah, because he stole shoes from us, bro. He stole shoes. He literally stole. He said he was going to send his shoes. Nice gesture. He never sent them. And at that point, Colin, it became personal.
I was
it
gonna
was
say,
a personal thing.
It's definitely
yeah.
personal.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I don't
Yeah,
care
And so Mario. It's a funny story. So you probably don't know this, but so Mario gets hired, and then we have Rudy Fernandez on the show with us, who we call the Wolf. He's the Wolf. He's the one who put this entire thing together. He's the one who hired Mario. He's the one who fired Manny. He's the guy who orchestrated all of this. Within 4 days of Mario being hired, there were deliveries to Rose's house of shoes and hoodies and shirts. Anything you can, just care packages for the three of us from Rudy. That's how you do things.
I love it.
Yeah. We thanked him for it. And obviously, he's a great guy. And we're like, hey, he goes, listen, when you say something, you do it. I heard it. He promised it. I'm big on that. We did it. And I'm like, thank you. And
That's pretty dope.
it was.
It goes a long way.
Yeah.
It was dope.
1,000%.
100%.
So Colin.
Hey, speaking of hoodies, Ro, you got 3 hoodies to the house
when am I
now.
gonna
Where's
see
our
those?
hoodies?
Next time I see
things.
So it's another funny story. So Jason Taylor.
Hound me.
Yeah, well, where are they?
Yeah.
So Jason
I
Taylor
don't even
is
know.
like the first practice, right? And he's got this hoodie on, this new Canes hoodie, and like, damn, like they got some nice gear down there. Look at these hoodies.
I was gonna
right?
say I gotta stock up.
Another
I got
box
nothing.
shows up.
You got
Another box
we gotta
shows up of
take
hoodies.
care of Colin now. We gotta take care of
Colin
All
now,
right, it's
yeah.
an OBB player one select
Don't you
This
get
is
care
dope.
of
I was gonna say you got all kinds of gear going on over there. Man,
This is from Caneswear, by the way. This is but this is us.
All right, so
That's
Colin,
ours.
Let me ask you this, because we've been throwing out the expectations. Now that Mario's here, you've seen the staff that he's built. I think we're all assuming that we're going to have no worse than top 10 recruiting classes, possibly more like top 5 recruiting classes for the next 2 cycles. All the momentum. How long before our Canes are knocking on the door to the college football playoff, assuming that it stays at just 4 teams for a while?
man, this year, next year. I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a timeline. I mean, from a ACC
You expect
standpoint, I mean,
immediate results.
The ACC can't be much weaker than it is now. I mean, from a standpoint for them to, you know what I mean? I mean, Clemson.
Well, it's true.
Yeah,
Clemson.
Yeah.
I mean, what is it like? Wake Forest was a powerhouse in the ACC.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
so
I mean, look, Clemson's down. Florida State
Clemson's
sucks.
terrible. Florida State sucks.
And you got nobody
North
else.
Carolina's.
Yeah.
I mean, the Coastal in itself.
North Carolina's
everybody-
in a transition year.
That's what I'm
Virginia's in
saying.
the
That
transition. there.
quarterback
Georgia
left
Tech.
from UNC.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
it would be the perfect
And look, I
storm.
mean, we got TBD, right? It
That's what
is
I'm
the
saying.
perfect storm. You got
Yeah.
Tyler Van Dyke. You get a Heisman favorite, or at least the top 5 in the country.
They got a ton of transfers
and
that
it
came in,
is-
right? Ton of
a
transfers.
couple of them. Yes, we did. A couple
Yeah.
from UCLA, USC.
I mean, he's not. I mean, Mario's not down there for a rebuild type of year. I mean, he's not going into this year being like, okay, let's win, 8 games and 9 games. You know what I mean? Like, he wants to fucking win every game. Sorry, my language. But he
you're
wants
fine,
to
you're
win.
fine.
No, we
Fucking
say
fine.
fuck all the time.
All right, good. Now I feel good. But yeah, I mean, he wants to win. I mean, I don't see from a I'm not sure what the schedule is. Obviously, from an ACC standpoint, they should win every ACC game, and I'm sure that's what Mario's saying is, we win the ACC, we win our side, we win the ACC championship, and then we see where we're at from there. But that's got to be first and foremost. I mean, I don't see why not.
Oh, I have schedule here.
There you go.
I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I got the schedule.
Bethune-Cookman, Southern Miss,
Okay.
Win-win.
Texas A&M.
That's a
On the
that's a
road.
battle.
on the road.
That's a fun place to play.
Middle Tennessee. Yeah,
I remember we played there.
Brutal.
I think maybe my sophomore year we played there, and
The cowbell.
Who was that running?
Nuts?
Who was that
Well,
running
that
back
12th
they
man.
had? Goodson.
Ooh, that's going back away.
Man,
yeah,
that's a
it's
good
going
question.
They had this running back Goodson. I remember him, but it was like the first play of the game or the first series. He breaks one for like 85, and the whole stand like it's just going nuts. We beat him. We beat him at Texas A&M. We beat him. That's when Tannehill was playing wide receiver.
Oh, he was a wide receiver.
Wide receiver,
he was
right?
wide receiver. Yeah.
There you go.
Should have been playing quarterback.
Crazy.
They'd have won that game.
Yeah,
We
Michael
won it.
Goodson.
Yeah, we won it.
Yeah, Michael
Yeah.
Goodson,
Nice.
Texas A&M starting running back.
That's right. Yeah.
It's a Middle Tennessee, then a bye week. Speaking of bye weeks, we think we're going to be better with Mario coming off bye weeks.
I certainly hope so.
Anybody?
Can it get
Can it
worse?
get
Can it get worse?
Yeah.
I was gonna
No,
say,
it
yeah.
can't. It can't.
You set the bar pretty low. Set the bar pretty
Right.
low.
We've had this discussion at nauseum. I think, Colin. Whose fault is it? When it comes down to it, you're coming off a bye week, right? Every single week, every single time for 3+ years, you just come out and you're just shit.
so
Whose fault is it?
So flat, so like just yeah, like
Yes. Yeah.
you can't even
It's like
find
you
a
didn't even
pulse.
want to get off the bus.
You can't find a pulse. It's like God, are they even? Yeah, like what is going on? Are they still going through walkthroughs or some shit? Like
Yeah,
oh,
They're still
taking a
walking.
nap.
oh.
Still walking. So realistically, I mean, it's not as though Manny didn't probably come up with some pretty decent stuff. I mean, after a while, you got to be able to come up with some pretty decent stuff to get some kids motivated, and you still go out there and lay an egg for the first half every time.
I think from
I mean,
a head.
Is it on the kids? Is it just the culture? Like, what is
It's
that?
a culture thing, 100% to start, and then obviously it starts up top. So you go with the head coach, that's where it starts, and then it goes down to the players. Obviously, the players are on the field, but if they're not prepared, there's been numerous times from a playing standpoint to where it's like, even if you get a bad call, you can make checks, you can do certain things to put you in a better position to make plays. And I think if everyone from a defensive standpoint or offensive standpoint are executing, you have a person to block, you have a route to run, you have an assignment from a blitz standpoint or from a coverage standpoint, and you do your job, you'll make plays. So it starts with a coaching standpoint to where there's no one covering a receiver in the slot, or they have, they're out leveraged and they're running the ball down their throat. You know what I mean? Like there's things like that to where it's a X's and O thing, not so much a personnel from a player's thing, if that makes sense.
No, definitely.
You know what I mean? Like
Absolutely, yeah.
Like it's
yeah.
oh
Yeah,
wait,
schematically,
like
just not in the right spot.
We have a defensive end in the C gap, and we have no outside leverage, or we have a corner.
Yeah, because they just came out unbalanced.
Yeah.
They came out in an unbalanced look, and we look like we've never seen an unbalanced look, and we don't
Never,
stick
yeah.
to it. We don't move over.
Don't adjust.
Colin.
And you don't adjust either.
No.
I love those.
They got four guys
Yeah.
to on one side, like you said. They don't. Yeah. So I mean, listen.
Colin, looking at your entire career, I mean, going all the way back to like Pee Wee, the first time you played organized football, all the way until you finish your career in the NFL, was there ever a game where the defense you were on gave up over 500 yards rushing?
I hope not. I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, the most embarrassed I ever was on a football field was the last game in the Orange Bowl. That was
We were
by
there.
far.
Yeah.
That was the worst from.
You know who the DC was?
at that time?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I couldn't tell you.
Al Golden.
Al Golden,
He was
He was on that roster.
DC, Virginia.
DC and Virginia.
Oh, at Virginia. Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, what do you call it? I saw he was just he almost won a Super Bowl as a linebacker coach for the Bengals.
Yeah,
Yes,
the Bengals.
Yeah.
I was like,
Now he's the
And then,
DC.
you know where he is now?
Notre Dame.
DC at Notre Dame.
Notre Dame.
Story.
Jesus.
True story.
Wow,
True story.
that's incredible.
I was actually. I'm happy for the guy, to be honest with you. I mean, look, he made. I still think he would have done really, really well, and I think there's a lot of people who thought he would do really, really well if he would just fired the numbnuts on the opposite side of the ball. And he didn't do it because he's his best friend or his best man or whatever, best of best, whatever he was. He should have kicked him in the nuts and said, you got to take a hike. He didn't, and he got fired, right? And then he went to Detroit. He was in purgatory there for a while at tight end. And then he ended up at Cincinnati as a linebacker coach, and then he made his way all the way back
DC,
to being a defensive coordinator in college football at Notre Dame.
Powerhouse.
He's going to be the head coach again.
Tulsa, or not at, whatever, UTSA, at Notre Dame.
Well, that's because he brought a binder.
Good for him.
Pillars
Good
of
for him.
success. He brought a big-ass binder.
Big binder he brought with him.
That's my biggest thing in what you I mean, probably when I was there, I mean, even when I played, I still understood it. It's like, it's not personal. You know what I mean? Like, you take it personal from a standpoint of, all right, if I'm not getting my job done, either pick up my shit and play better, or I'm going to get replaced. And it's no different between a player or a coach. It's the same thing. And when people when you go 500 and you get beat by Florida State and you have terrible, what was that, 4th and 20 that they gave up that fucking pass?
Yeah, 4th and 17.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like
4th and 14.
Right then when they gave it up, first of all, it was like, just let them score so you can get an opportunity to try to score again.
Yeah, no, they
wanted to stop them. It's like, dude, you're not going to stop them. They're going to score. And they did.
Did you hear the reasoning, though? Did you hear the reasoning?
No, it's probably dumb.
Something happened. I think it was at Wake Forest or something. He got in a situation, and Wake Forest stopped him.
Yeah.
So he thought, well, let's give it a shot.
Guy's a character.
Yeah. I kid you not. That's like the story that came out in the post.
You can't make that up.
Oh, my God, help me. You can't do this for real.
Yeah. At that point, it should have been like, timeout, Manny Diaz, you're fired. It should have been I went. Yeah.
If you would have listened to the post-game podcast, that's basically what we were saying.
And that was the best 4th and 14 ever.
You can essentially keep this class together and hire Mario Cristobal if you play your cards right.
If you play your cards right.
And they did. The Wolf.
And they played their cards right.
It played it to perfection.
Hey, who is your favorite coach, Colin?
My favorite coach at Miami?
Ever. It doesn't have to be at Miami.
I'll tell you what. When I first got to Tennessee, there was my linebacker coach was Frank Bush. He came from, I think, Houston. I think now, I forget where he is now, but I mean, the guy knew football. I mean, obviously from Miami's standpoint, I loved Randy Shannon. He recruited me. Obviously, some people hated him. I loved him. We had a great relationship. It was, I understood what he wanted. He wanted, he wanted you to compete. He wanted you to play hard. And if you did what you're supposed to do, he loved you. I mean, guys who got off the field BS or didn't want to show up for, certain things, he obviously may have overreacted to it and made more of a deal than it was. But if you did your shit, if you were on time, if you, all those things, he loved you. And I mean, from a coaching standpoint, when I was there, he was awesome.
You still talk to him at all?
I mean, maybe a text every year. I mean, just checking up on him or something like that.
Ask him how he likes Tallahassee.
I know. I saw that. I saw he's at Florida State. I was like, geez. The money had to
looks
been right.
Unhappy there. I don't know.
Yeah, the money. They don't have money.
It's a job. It's a job. Whatever. Wasn't he in Florida for like 3 seconds too? I mean, look, it's a job.
He was at UCF.
He's been at all 3 states, the big state schools,
at UCF
and
for
UCF
like
too.
5 years. That's
we
right.
won't say 4.
I'm telling you, he was in Florida too, right?
Yeah.
He was at
Frank
Florida.
Bush, by the way,
and at UCF.
Is still a linebackers coach in the league, and he's currently coaching with the Atlanta Falcons. So
Who's that?
Yeah.
Who's that?
Frank Bush, your favorite coach. Yeah. So he's currently still with the Atlanta Falcons.
It's funny. So Frank was at Tennessee, obviously, when I was there, and then Arthur Smith was like the GA at Tennessee when I first got there. So he was like the quality control guy with the Titans when I first got there. And then now, obviously, he's the head coach down with the Falcons now. But that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Colin, funny Randy Shannon fact. This year, if things go sideways at FSU, he legitimately has a chance to become the first person to ever be head coach of FSU, Florida, and Miami, because he was interim at UF for a game. He could be interim at FSU if Norvell gets fired, and he was head coach at Miami. He would have been head coach of all three Florida State schools.
Unbelievable.
That's awesome. Good for him.
Yeah, go Randy.
Hey, that's a quality career right there.
I was going to say.
It is.
Go, Randy.
You got to get a statue or something for that somewhere.
That's almost as good as Slick Willie.
Nothing tops Slick Willie. He's got the money.
Slick Willie, he's done some good things.
He took the money from Nike, Florida State, and now he's chilling up the road in Paradise.
Chilling in Boca.
He's just chilling in Boca with all the co-eds.
Hanging out in Boca.
What's up, man? Willie Taggart.
Oh, God. So good.
Going to Louis Bossy.
Yeah.
Or to Palmetto.
You know he's going out with those like Louis sandals too out to practice.
Of course he is.
With the glasses. Oh, we love Willie.
Well, listen, Colin, man, thank you very much. You were incredibly generous with your time.
No, I appreciate it.
you hanging
Yeah,
out with us.
It's always good
I tell you what.
talking ball, especially now we got a head coach.
Yeah.
There you go.
I wouldn't talk. I don't obviously do a whole lot of these. I guess it was a podcast. Is that what you
Yes.
call that?
Yeah.
We're
not sure what
I
it
don't
is.
even know what it is.
It's cool though. I mean, it's awesome, and now we actually got something to talk about. I mean, there's a buzz that I think, from a former player standpoint, it's real. Where like you said, the previous buzz with these other coach hires, it was kind of, a hoorah thing with the new coach, but it was the same results. But as a former player, I'm fired up. I think Mario. I mean, you can see what he's doing recruiting wise. You can see what he's doing coach staff wise, and I'm fired up. I'm gonna make it down to games. I'm not gonna be going for calling for his head anytime soon. That's for sure.
That's what we said. We don't care. It's rainbows and unicorns for the next 24 months. Do whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
Let's turn it around. We give you the longest leash in the history of leashes.
I love it.
And we're fine with it. Now, I'm going to ask you a question because Toast was going to let you go. But if you don't have anything else to do, we do this thing called 5 questions. And it's non-football related. If you want to stick around, you can stick around. It's a lot of fun. If not, you can tell us to go far.
Okay, we can do that. Yeah.
No, let's do the 5 questions. I'm in.
All right. We got 5 questions. Hang on, we got to get I got to get my little intro here.
Ro loves this.
Come on.
Ro loves
the
this.
intro.
Ro
Yeah,
loves
It's like
this.
nails on a chalkboard.
Questions.
Okay. Question number 1. And this is a reference to what happened at the Oscars on Sunday night. Who would you most like to slap?
Who would I most like to slap?
Yeah. Right across the face.
Man, I don't even know if I can say this. Is it? Can I get
Sure
in
you
trouble
can.
for it?
So,
I don't think so.
no, nobody listens to this show.
Yeah.
You know who I'd love to slap is Ken Whisenhunt.
Oh.
Okay. All right. I love it. That's awesome.
There you
Is
go.
he even coaching anymore?
No, so
Is he even
aside
coaching anymore?
So a side story. Here you go. Here's my
God.
last season in the NFL. So he's the head coach. He becomes the head coach. It's my last year. It's my 4th year. It's my contract. Obviously, it's my last contract year. And I'm like, listen, if you don't want me here, if I'm not a part of the plan, like, let me leave. Like, I'll be more than happy to, get traded or just release me, and I'll see who signs me, whatever it is, just so I can get out of here. He's like, no, you're too cheap for us to get rid of you. I'm like, oh, great, okay, great, right?
Oh, Jesus.
And then he's like, you're gonna compete, because I came off. I was the 2nd year I was a captain. Then I got some injuries, whatever. But then my last year there, I was like, all right, cool, like, let's go. New head coach. I got rid of the old guy. Let's go. And he was just a dick the entire time. I didn't like the guy. Every single time. I was always a first guy in, last guy out. Now I was the last guy in, first guy out. And I hated him. I thought he was a terrible coach. Obviously, he didn't last there long. And there's a reason for it, because he sucked as a coach. And I hate. Yeah, if I could see him, I'd lay into him. So yeah, thanks for that. Yeah, thanks for bringing that up.
Nice. All right, beautiful. I like it.
Yeah. See, we like this
There you
segment.
go.
Who I want to slap the most, and you guys
Yes.
haven't even heard this story yet. Who I want to slap the most. Yesterday, I'm coaching, right? Go back to yesterday. I don't even know this guy's name. So I'm coaching. There's a play where a guy gets first and third, the ball's alive. My catcher goes to throw the ball, but their batter comes on the field, grabs the bat, and they trip over each other. So I'm like, hey, that's batter's interference. So the umps call, they call the kid out. This is 10-year-old Little League, by the way. So I'm like, hey, yeah, we got out of the inning, right? He can't grab a bat in the middle of the game. Bro, this parrot came unhinged. He, came at me. He's like, that's fucking bullshit, coach. You can't, I'm like, bro, who are you coming at? So, because it's fresh in my mind.
10 years
I
old?
might or might not say, yeah, 10, 11-year-old baseball. This is what we
but
do.
it was the parent.
But I will say, I mean, my name is not, Chris Rock, because I did tell him I'd meet him in a parking lot. So,
God. Nice.
Is he a big dude?
the OBB will keep going on. There'll be three of us. I mean, I'm a big boy too, Scoop.
Fine. I'm well aware.
That is hilarious.
You were my bodyguard for many years.
So-
I understand how this works.
So, yeah, I want to slap that dude. I mean, I didn't even do anything wrong, you douche. So, that guy in 10-year-old Little League, that's who I want to slap. That's my final answer.
All right, Scoop.
Hillary Clinton.
I would have.
Yeah, right.
What? No, God dang it, man! Come on, just let me answer. Can you let me answer it properly? Can you let me answer it properly?
No.
Okay. My answer is Bill Clinton because I'm not allowed to slap Hillary.
Oh, my goodness.
Why you gotta jump in the gun, man?
All right, who would I
Toasty?
most like to slap? Can someone get me Terry Porter's address?
Oh, yeah. Robbery in the desert.
The
Slap
man
him for
that
stealing a national championship.
stole a natty
What a
from
jerk
us.
that guy
Stole
is.
us one for the number 6.
Oh,
All right.
we
Next
got?
up, question number 2. What tastes good both hot and cold?
Pizza.
Pizza. Solid.
that's an obvious answer for sure.
Great
yeah.
answer.
You know, you're probably not thinking this, and I'm thinking of Josh Pay too. Cheesecake. You ever have
When do you have it
Never had
hot?
hot cheesecake.
You
never had hot
Duffy's. Duffy's makes a baked cheesecake.
Duffy's.
Really?
That's going way back.
Oh my, Duffy's is terrible. It's terrible. Sorry, they'll never be our sponsor, but
I can't even go there.
it is. But they have a crunchy hot cheesecake. That thing's good too. It's legit.
You have enough
It's fire.
beers that taste good, huh?
Anything tastes good with beers, bro.
Yeah, that's right.
And you know where you can get beers at the Tank Brewery.
Tank Brewing Company. That's
Tank.
right.
Frank
Down
the
in
Tank
Miami.
is a great beer. Yeah.
I'm gonna go donuts.
Ooh.
Okay. All right.
Strong.
You get a hot Krispy Kreme donut. I will say I'm not a huge Krispy Kreme fan.
But that light's
I
on?
think it's like too. Yeah, I know.
Going in.
Sweet.
I don't like what's
Oh,
the
yeah.
difference? There's two different types of donuts, right? There's cake donuts and then there's what's the other donut?
I don't know.
Well, the Krispy Kreme is the other donut where it's really like airy and fluffy.
But when it's
I like,
hot, it's good.
Yeah. I like the dense donuts. But anyway, donuts hot and cold are good.
All right. This might be a little bit of an odd one. I'm going to say fried chicken. I like cold
That's
fried
a
chicken
great one,
too, man.
actually. I
Yeah.
like cold fried chicken.
Yeah.
No problem with a cold piece of fried chicken out of the fridge.
I'll co-sign that. Yeah.
I never thought of that, though.
There you go. All right. Question number 3. This one. This is because of a tweet that Scoop
That's right.
put out
Damn-
from the
damn
Orange Bowl
right.
Boys
Yeah,
account
bring it up.
in the last 48 hours. Is there
Bring it up.
anything iconic about Top Gun?
Everything.
Nothing.
Everything.
That's a piece of Americana right there, bro.
Are you out of your fucking mind?
Nothing
like,
about
you
it is
seriously?
iconic. Nothing. Maybe the volleyball scene.
It's Top Gun. I'll say this. So maybe not everything, but the soundtrack for the original Top Gun is the best soundtrack or most relatable soundtrack to a movie ever. You hear the gong. Dum, dum, dum. Are you kidding me?
Dude, stop with Kenny Loggins. Stop with Kenny Loggins.
To the danger zone.
Oh my God.
That's right.
If it was such an iconic movie, they would have done a sequel much sooner than 4 years later.
They would have, but Tom Cruise had to go batshit crazy and jump on Oprah's couch. And it's never been the same. It's like he derailed that movie by another good 10 years.
Come on, Colin.
Hey, man.
What side are you
Hey,
on?
Are you a Top Gun fan?
Listen, as big of a fan as you are, I'll co-sign. I'm with you. Yeah, I'm not gonna argue with you with that type of stance. That's for sure.
This is a good one. Question number 4 is good. I'm looking forward to the answers here.
Wait, that's it? That's it, Toast? You're just going to bow out?
What?
Yeah.
I said there's
3
nothing
versus 4.
iconic about Top Gun. There's nothing. Zero.
There's nothing iconic.
Maybe the volleyball scene
movie
for
sucks.
girls.
Maybe the volleyball.
My wife would
with
say
the
the volleyball
boys.
scene. Yeah.
Hanging with the boys.
Yeah.
Hanging with the boys. I mean,
Goose is the only guy with his shirt on. Oh, he's embarrassed. But
he had the
he marries Meg
options,
Ryan in
though.
it. Yeah, he marries Meg Ryan.
They didn't even use Meg Ryan.
And then, you know that the play is going to be that kid came from that scene, right?
Yeah.
Take me to bed or lose me forever.
Oh, sure, yeah.
She ended up being pregnant. He died.
God.
That's going to be the story.
I swear to God, they should
Because
just-
this kid,
you should
Colin,
like-
have you
my
seen
God.
the new trailer?
No.
He doesn't care. Yeah.
Okay. He does care.
No, he doesn't.
He does.
I
care.
co-sign.
Yes, he
I
does.
100% don't care.
Yes, thank you very much. He's not bullshitting.
Listen, man, I co-sign with you. Anything as far as the trailer for more.
Has anyone else seen Toast? Have you seen the trailer for Ozark, the final?
No, the final episode?
No, the final.
Well, we're
7
like
episodes.
We're like 4 episodes in.
It's a month out. Oh no! There's like the next.
The next 7, no, I have not seen it. No.
It's violent as fuck.
Well, I would hope so. It's a bit of a violent show. All right, question number 4. What's the weirdest band name you've ever heard?
Weezer.
Weirdest.
Okay.
It's kind of dumb. It's kind of stupid. Yeah.
For me, I'm going Butthole Surfers.
That is a really good one.
Butthole Surfers?
Butthole Surfers.
True.
Yeah.
I
Never heard that?
Yeah.
That's the imagery.
I don't have. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Colin, you
I
got
got
one?
nothing. I'm drunk.
Colin, just
nothing.
say release.
No.
That's nothing. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
I was going to say.
He's trying to make fun of us. Is what he's trying to do. So, it's not a band name, but it's a singer's name. I always never understood Meatloaf.
Yeah, that's true.
right.
That's silly.
Like, why would you name yourself Meatloaf?
He looked like a meatloaf.
He did, but why would you do that?
I hate the word loaf associated with food.
I mean, he could have just called himself
But
warm
a
cheese.
loaf of bread is good.
No, but like pimento loaf. I was thinking like pimento loaf or just. Ugh.
Well, pimento's cheese, though, right?
I think it's like a
Cheese loaf.
meat.
cheese loaf. I don't want. See, I would never eat something
cheese.
called cheese loaf.
Pimento's cheese.
I would never eat a cheese loaf.
Gotcha.
Definitely cheese.
Well, it's like a cheese Danish.
All right. Last question, number 5.
Cheese Danish. It's the
I
same
love
thing.
cheese Danish.
Yeah.
All right, last one, number 5. What do you place in the dick move list?
Ooh, that's a dick move. Mm-hmm. Good question.
This is super easy for me. Driving around and you're at an intersection and like it's a merge into one lane and that one asshole that knows it's a merge but he drives all the way to the front to try to cut everybody and then somehow noses his way in there. That's a dick move.
yeah.
I do it all the time. I mean, it's not, but it's not as though like,
Yeah, no, you're a dick. You're a dick. You're a dick. You can't. You're too good to wait in the line with the rest of us. Yeah, so you're gonna cut. You're gonna cut.
Here's the part.
Dick move.
It's not. No. But you're not. You're not. You're taking this wrong. The reality is, there's so many people in that line dicking around and not paying attention that it's wide open. It's not like you're cutting people off. There's people you're like, well, they're not moving, and you just go there.
Whatever you want to say to sleep at night and think you're not a dick. You're a dick.
I sleep just fine
You're
at
a
night.
dick. Giant dick.
For me, dude, just hitting on your girl. That's instant dick move, bro.
Oh, someone else hitting on your girl?
Yeah.
Someone else?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure,
that's-
of course.
That's not
I
cool.
mean, you just said what's an instant dick move? That's an instant dick move.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah, that's an extreme though. Dick move.
Yeah, there's a bro code for that. There's a bro code for this. I'm gonna have to Will
Right.
Smith you if you do that.
There you go.
Yeah.
Colin, what's a dick
Worse
move?
than that. Dick move. You brought one up with the driving thing. Maybe driving in the Hove lane when you're solo, when you're by yourself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's kind of a dick move, but I'll do it.
Yeah, well, I'll do it. That's
Only
it.
only if they catch you.
Colin and I get along
I was
just
gonna
fine.
say only if they catch you.
Just fine.
What other dick move? That's a
always
good
I
one.
remember back when they first came out with HOV lanes, you had guys driving with mannequins in the passenger
Remember
seat.
that?
Yeah.
I remember that people getting pulled over because
Yeah.
they had like stuffed, turkeys in their passenger seat or something.
All right, Scoop, what's a dick move?
Well, I thought of like a specific moment in time, not of like just a general scenario. And mine was, and you'll appreciate this. Mine was when Pete Carroll asked Russell Wilson to throw it on the one.
Instead
Kind
of
of a
running
dick
it in.
move for the
Yeah,
Seahawks.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it cost him a
As a
Super Bowl.
Seahawks fan, that was an absolute dick move, yes.
Like that's not cool, right?
Yeah, not cool in any way, yeah. Would have been
Kind of a
back-to-back
dick
Super
move
Bowls.
by
yeah.
Pete Carroll.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, man.
All right, well, you ended on a positive one. That's nice, Scoop.
Toast is a huge Seahawks fan, so
All right, Cousin Colin, thank you very much, bro. You've given us like almost an hour, which is
Oh,
absolutely
no, I
insane.
appreciate you guys. I appreciate it, man. And
We will definitely have you on again, man.
Look
And,
forward to it.
Have fun. Have fun getting down to campus and seeing the boys here over the next couple of weeks.
I'm fine. I haven't been down there since they did all the indoor stuff. The indoor facility, the
no
whole
reason
deal.
to go.
So I'll check it out. And, thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Report back.
You got it, brother.
All right, boys. That was fun with
Dope.
Colin.
That was he's
5
fun,
questions. Yeah,
He started cursing and he got all tilted.
he got comfortable,
Yeah.
so he started dropping shit like crazy.
Wait till he comes on here next time.
And I love it. He's like, "Can I say this? I want to slap Whisenhunt, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
That's
and
great.
immediately in my head, I'm like,
Slap
"Yeah,
Whisenhunt.
this will be a YouTube clip too." Oh, nobody's paying attention. Nobody's listening.
Nobody listens to this show.
What? You guys got a thought on a title for this bad boy?
Yeah, I'd slap Whisenhunt.
because I do.
Yeah.
I was going to say slapping Whisenhunt.
Yeah,
That's it.
slapping Whisenhunt.
Something to that extent. 100%. We all three wanted that one.
The other title that he said earlier too, and it's just the way he said it. He was like, "Go Randy." Good for Randy. Good. That's what it was. Good for Randy.
Good for
Good for
Good for
Randy.
Randy. Yeah. Oh, damn.
Slapping.
All right, so
was
hey,
a-
listen. We had, if you missed it, the OBB recruiting pod. Gio dropped a 50-minute pod yesterday that was full of all the spring practice information, position by position, player by player. If you want to know what's going on, you got to go ahead and subscribe to the OBB recruiting pod. Wherever you find this pod, you will find that pod, and start listening to that with Gio. And our other OBB pod will be dropping its new inaugural episode on Saturday. That is Marsh and Jordan Nelson and Fours Up.
They're making a comeback. Don't call it
Yep.
a comeback. Right?
I
Marsh
think
and
somebody on
Fours
this.
Up.
I think somebody here is going to be the first guest.
Oh. Thank God it's
Not
not
me.
me.
Oh, I am.
That's what they told me.
All right, let's go.
I heard it's you and Gio on first episode.
I didn't know it was the first episode. I thought I was hitting.
Yeah.
Sure, let's go. Let's do this. We got like
Well, I think we all might have a responsibility to show up to that pod every now and then.
Every now and then,
CSI.
yes, it is. It is
the
the OBB
umbrella.
umbrella now.
Yeah,
It
CSI,
is the
so-
umbrella.
it's
And
gonna
don't
grow.
forget, what?
It's what? Oh, the OBB legend.
OBB legend.
It's on its way.
It's coming, and it's coming
Soon.
soon. And the content upon content upon content as far as football in general, football recruiting. There'll be some baseball on there. There'll be some basketball. It is going to be just a medium in and of itself, and we cannot wait to bring it to you guys. OBB Legend on Twitter. OBBlegend.com is going to be the home and the heartbeat of it. It is close.
Did either of you guys show up to the Tuesday web meeting?
Oh, that was today? No, that was yesterday?
No, because he was out of
That
town.
was yeah, because we all forgot. I forgot. He showed up. None of us did.
Oh, I thought he was out of
What day
town.
is
That's the
today?
only reason why.
No, he went out of town like today. Yeah,
Oh,
so
that was
the last
yesterday.
meeting before he went. Yeah,
Oh, good.
yeah.
Good. Well,
No, because
Yeah,
I know
totally.
I checked.
we had a
my
weekly
email,
meeting for months now. Apparently, we all forgot about that one.
which no news is good news at this late in the ballgame.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not like he was like, "Hey, man, we got an issue, we got to talk." But no, he's doing a phenomenal job.
God,
We
that's
cannot
funny.
wait to bring this to you guys. So we're probably like 2, 3, 4 weeks away from that happening. Right around the spring game is the goal. So, and we're all going to be out at the spring game. And I believe now it is going to be at Inter Miami. They haven't officially still said it, but it's too close.
Yeah,
to,
that's been the
right?
rumor
Like,
forever.
Yeah, it's been a rumor for ages. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll all three of
All
us
right.
will be there.
We will.
Canes.
That does it for chapter 15, boys. As always, go Canes!
Bang.
That's another episode in the books. The Orange Ball Boys are brought to you by Ed Morse Automotive Group. Visit edmorse.com.